Hi everyone, and welcome back to our unit looking at congruence and similarity. Today we're going to be looking at problems involving congruent figures. Okay, so let's go back to the first question we started off with in our introduction to this topic. What does it mean for figures to be congruent? Remember, for two figures to be congruent, it basically means that their matching sides and angles are all equal. Okay, and that's really key for you to remember and understand. We also looked at last lesson the special symbol to represent congruent shapes. Do you remember what it is? If you do, quickly jot it down in this little square in your booklet before I reveal it. Okay. Did you get it right? Okay, the symbol to represent congruent shapes is 3 horizontal lines on top of each other, kind of like an equal sign but with an extra line on top. Okay, so there's some important things to remember about congruent shapes. Okay, basically, in summary, with congruent shapes, their matching angles are equal and also their matching sides are equal. Okay, so that's kind of really important to remember. If we're thinking about other kinds of shapes, still 2D figures, but if we're thinking about congruent circles, then that would mean that their radii have to be equal. Okay, and remember, radii is just a name for two lots of a radius. Okay, so there's two, you can see a radius here and here, which means they're radii. Okay, what is special then about matching sides and angles in congruent triangles? Well, we've looked at it up here twice now. They're equal. Okay, so what's special about matching sides and angles in congruent triangles? They are equal. And we're going to use that principle, the matching sides and angles are equal in congruent triangles, and use that to answer these following questions. Okay, let's read the question. It says, for the following congruent figures, find the missing pronumerals giving reasons. So there's 3 parts to this question. The first is that they're telling us that it's congruent. The second is they're telling us what they want us to find and how they want us to write down reasons too. Okay, and this reason you need to learn and you'll need to kind of keep in your mind until you finish school at maths. Okay, so let's have a look at these. Now the question tells me that this triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Okay, so I'm going to start with that. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Okay, and that has actually been given to me in the question, so I'm going to write down given. Okay, now because that is given, I can therefore say that therefore y degrees equals 49 degrees. Okay, and why does y degrees equals 49 degrees? Because it's a matching angle in congruent triangles. And they are equal. Because the question told me that these were congruent. Okay, and I can say that therefore x degrees is really equal to 41 degrees. Okay, again the same reason. Matching angles in congruent triangles are equal. And now you might be wondering, that's a lot of words to write out. Can I take a shortcut? Can I, write things in short form? The answer is no, you cannot. You must write it out in full words, just as I have there, okay? Because the Board of Studies won't accept anything else, and you don't want to lose any marks in your important exams. Good to build up the habits now. And that's all you need to do for question 1. We found x and y. Let's go to question B. Okay, remember they've told us that these triangles are congruent already. Okay, so I can start off by saying, oh, it's not a very good triangle. Try again. I can start off by saying that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF, and that is given to me. Okay, I can then say that therefore x is equal to 7 centimeters because it is matching sides in congruent triangles are equal. All right, I can also say that therefore Z is equal to 10 centimeters for the same reason. Matching sides in congruent triangles. Actually, it should be matching sides of congruent triangles, shouldn't it? Because the sides are on, they're not in them, they're on them. Are equal. Okay, so that's how you do those two questions there. Have a look at question C. Perhaps you could try to do question C. So remember, you're going to start off by saying angle ABC is congruent to, sorry, not angle, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Okay, and you're going to say that's given because the question says to give reasons. And then you're going to go, therefore, X is equal to, with a reason, Y is equal to whatever with a reason, and Z is equal to whatever with a reason. Okay, so you fill in those and see how you go. What about when they're not triangles? It says find the measure of angle W. Okay, now this says polygon ABCDE, and this is the American symbol for congruent. So it's saying that these two things are congruent. Okay, so they want me to work out this angle here, angle W. Now if I think about where that angle is, now this shape has obviously been rotated. Okay, because I can say that this bit here and this bit here, that's actually the top here. Okay, so I can say that this is actually 88. So X is 88. Matching angles in congruent figures are equal. I can also say that this little angle here is 132, same reason. And they want me to work out that. Now, let's see how many sides this polygon has. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. Okay. So if I wanted to figure out W, I'd need to know the interior angle sum, or the angle sum of this polygon. Okay. And to figure that out, you need to know a special rule. Okay, because basically I've got 90, 90, 88, 132, and something else. Okay. Now I'm going to help you out here because we don't actually learn the angle sum of a polygon until next year. But to get the angle sum of a polygon, you do the number of sides minus 2 and times it by 180. Okay, that's a special rule that we'll learn more about next year. But for the purposes of this, there's 5 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is going to be 3 times 180, which is going to be 540 degrees. Double check that if you're not sure. I'll quickly check it here on my calculator. 3 times 180, just to show you that it equals to 540. Okay, and then basically I know that this has to add up to 540. Okay, so therefore angle W is going to equal to 540 degrees minus all the rest. Okay, minus 2 lots of 90, because there's 2 90-degree angles, plus 88, plus 132. Okay, so why don't you figure that out and tell me what you come up with in class tomorrow. Question 2 says the trapezium, this is a trapezium, ACFD, has been halved by the axis of symmetry, forming 2 congruent shapes. So they're telling us they're congruent. Which side matches AB? Which side matches this? Well, I think it's BC that matches that, so I'm going to write that there. You answer the other 2. Complete the congruent statement. So this is for part D. ABED, actually we can just fill it out up there. ABED, so ABED is congruent to, well it's congruent to CBEF, the other one, the other shape. Would these congruent shapes have the same area? Would all congruent shapes have the same area? I want you to think about that. Okay, remember the area is the space inside the shape. And question 3, what is the condition for 2 circles to be congruent? We covered that earlier on. So write a summary of what you learned today and any questions that you have, bring them to class. And I want you to actually make up your own interesting question of what you've learned today. Bring your booklet to class with you so we can try our work in class together. Today we have learnt about problems involving congruent figures. See you soon.